Welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that. Face off at the St. George end here. After that quick little commercial break, I forgot to charge the battery pack. I charged the battery pack, but I had two of them in my pocket. And here's a shot by Worrell. The rebound is there. St. George zigging on it. They knocked the net off in the process. A little bit of extracurricular activity going on down there, and they'll all disperse. But I have two battery packs, and they both look the same. And one of them's charged, one of them wasn't, because I used it in the first two periods. I put the wrong one in. I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did. So I had to stop the video and replace it, so I'm sorry if clicking between videos is a little bit of an inconvenience, and I apologize for that. That's entirely my fault. It's the little things sometimes. Seibold will clear the zone there. St. Paul's lines are all mixed up right now. They have three players from three different lines on the ice. I don't know if that's by design or on purpose. Here's Cooper Flint with a head of steam. Just knocked away from him. Seibold following up. He shoots, and a save was made. That rebound is there, and JT Halliday will find it in the corner. Dropping it off. Cooper Flinton taking a look around. He chips it back for Halliday. Halliday for Flinton on the wall. They trade spots. Cooper Flinton, 4-1 St. Paul's. They're out there looking for the fifth right now. Miscommunication there with Halliday. Both were hesitant and didn't really want to take that puck, so St. George's will move it out to center. Nice little move there by Halliday, and he's through. JT Halliday dishes it left side. Flinton back to the front of the goal. It was blocked aside. Halliday left Brandon Reed in his wake there. Not overly showy move, but a bit of a dandy. St. Paul starts a change. It's Owen Sweet leaving it. Bryson Russell walks off the wall. He's got space with a shot, and it's into the glove of Owen Hipple, who has been peppered. He was really good the first two periods, and he's been good here in the third, too. He's just faced a massive volume. I mean, St. Paul's had 26 shots to the goal through two periods of play. And they only had one goal, so that's a victory in itself for the Dragons. Or at least it was at the time. And trailing 4-1 here. I'd be curious to see how many shots are in the third. There's Owen Sweet, dodges a check, trying to walk out in front. He's upended, it ends up on his behind, but St. Paul's keeps it alive. Russell stumbles, and that's why ended up coughing up the puck there, but he recovers well and is right back on it. Bryson Russell on the right side. We'll go into the corner for it. Along the near wall, now St. George will get it up. 2:42 to play. 4-1, Big Red in the lead against the Dragons. Here's Jack Hepp dishing it. Bussy back to the middle. Hepp driving through there. St. Paul's has done a good job of activating the defenseman in today's game. There's the guy that's got two goals, and he's a defenseman. St. George is changing. They're going to try to catch him. They certainly haven't stopped skating, the Big Red haven't, and they have been rewarded here in the third. Back to the line, here's Cox. Hesitated, he was thinking about the hat trick there. And instead it's Sweet, now back for Cox again. He shoots, it was blocked aside. You can hear a few sighs of displeasure on the St. Paul's bench. Here comes Jenkinson, trying to get around Cox. Stops up there. Cox all over him, but he dishes it off. Ryan Buckley stripped of the puck by Cade Cox. The referee nearly fell over head first into the goal there. He's kind of stumbling, a little awkward play. Here comes Cox, left wing side, his shot, and it's snared with the glove of Hipple. Glove side certainly the strongest side for Owen Hipple. He was beat to the blocker side twice tonight. I think Flinton's was a blocker side shot, and I think Schubert's was a blocker side shot. Throw-in by St. Paul's in the offensive zone there. Colin Richard, the centerman on this third line. With Malone on the left wing and either Seibold or Frechette on the right. Frechette is knocked down by the puck-possessing player, Ryan Buckley. Not often do you see that. Under a minute to play here, so it looks like right now, if this result holds, St. Paul's will move on to play at 11 a.m. tomorrow versus the winner of the Proctor and Kents Hill game. Should be an interesting one if St. Paul's were to meet Proctor, because of course they've already met once, and they will meet for a second time for sure later in the season, but possibly the third time tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see with that one. 30 seconds left to play. It's a big third period that's the difference right now, as St. Paul's turned on the Jets and wore down the Dragons in the second and finished them. Or just about finished them. Only 16 seconds left, but they really capitalized in the third. Puck in below the goal line. It's banged up the wall here. Mick Frechette will hold the line. Tosses it back to Malone at the side of the goal. Here's Clayton Malone wrapping it out in front for Frechette. That should do it. And there is the horn. So St. Paul's down 1-0 early. They battle all the way back and get 4 consecutive goals, including 2 from Kate Cox. And that's the final. 4-1, St. Paul's defeats St. George. And they will move on to play at 11 a.m. tomorrow. St. George's will take on the loser of Kents Hill Proctor at 9 a.m. We'll see you then. Well, not at 9, but at 11. And my name is Ryan Murphy. So glad you joined us for this one. Once again, the final score, St. Paul's 4, St. George's 1.